Hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade. Welcome to my war room in Prince George, British Columbia. This is Germany's turn again. It's July of 1938. So we're getting closer and closer to war, but we're not quite there. I mean, there's been some skirmishes go on. There's been some fighting in South Africa in the last turn, South America in the last turn. The Spanish Civil War is over. And the battle in China has begun with Japanese invading last turn. So, now that we've got some battles going on, we've got some corrections to make from things that happened in the last round. So let me get to them. First of all, the mistake that I made, because I'm supposed to put the stuff on at the beginning of the turns for the neutrals and stuff. So one thing I forgot to do in January of 1938 was put 2 more infantry on in Istanbul. So now there is 7 infantry in Istanbul, Turkey. And another one, let's go over to China here. So in the last round there, the FEC had sent 4 supply tokens to the KMT. That is not allowed. There is only 1 token that's supposed to go to them. There's another way to get a second token there. That's if you use what's called an air bridge. So you can fly something in with a transport plane. So theoretically, you could send a supply token via the 3 methods that you could normally send it. Plus you could send one in by air. But, you know, like you can't just send as many as you want though. Like the FEC had. Otherwise, you know, like the Chinese, they would all build nothing but militia, and then everybody else on would just top them up, right? Send as many supply tokens as it takes to make infantry, and that just breaks that expansion set, and nobody wants that, right? So anyway, only 1 supply token there. Let's just stay in China for a second there. So on Panzer King's last turn, when he took this territory here, Shantung, what happens when you're playing the China War expansion? When you take a territory like he had here, he took it back from the Japanese, then you are supposed to upgrade one of your infantry to an elite infantry. And he's basically the same as the Special Navy Landing Force. He attacks at 3 and defends at 5. I mean, he doesn't have the marine abilities, but just the attack and defense value for the elite units are better than a regular infantry. So we've made that correction there. Also, let me see, what else did he do there? The Flying Tigers here. So he wanted to send it to Yunnan, but he didn't think that he could send it through the French there. He just put it down in here. But we talked about it afterwards, and sure enough, you can. And I encourage all the players out there, as I encouraged the people in this game earlier in a private chat, that you should go and read the errata and the FAQ on HBG's website, because a lot of the rules have been clarified or changed since they came out. And one of the clarifications is that you can get permission or give permission to let somebody else use your ports and your railways for the purpose of Lend-Lease. And of course, France is not going to say no to the KMT because they're on the same side, right? So the Flying Tigers comes from an existing plane on the board. So he took that from a plane that was on a carrier on the eastern seaboard of the United States, and he went through this port and railed along up into Yunnan. So that's what's happened there. And okay, that's that over there. So let's just go over to South Africa, or South America. Why do I keep saying South Africa? I blame the Russians. Damn war heroes. Okay, when he amphibiously assaulted this place, he's really tired. Like, I've talked to him on the phone, and he's just on glue right now because he works in the heating industry, and it had been minus like 30 something for weeks on end, and so people's pipes were bursting. Guys working like 120 hours a day. Anyway, he knows how to amphibiously assault something, but his brain wasn't working last night. Anyway, like on the 3rd or 4th round, he managed to take this, and he didn't remember if he needed to take double casualties or not, right? So he took his Marine off and left his infantry on. So we allowed him to put his Marine back on and take the infantry off. And the other thing was he wasn't sure about the movement of his cavalry. So instead of leasing that cavalry over there to the city, hang on. Oh, darn, I got to take this. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take that phone call. Usually I turn my phone off, but I'm glad I didn't because it was an important call. And it's not like I was doing any rolling in here, like any battles or anything, so it's not a big deal. Anyway, so what was I saying? The cavalry, he's placed in Pampas and not in the city. So that's the only corrections there. While I'm here, I might as well just tell you, because I'm not going to move anything or place anything unless I get a recruitment roll. I am going to take a recruitment roll, and I've got 2 territories. So just so you know, and we're on the other side of the board, I don't have to come down here and show you again. In fact, I'm not doing any movement down here. So let's just slowly move around. I'll show you. Oh, there is one more thing I wanted to say. So another viewer on one of the videos for this game, it's not my video, but somebody else's video, he pointed out in the rules of the Moroccan of the colonial expansion that the Moroccan Gormiers, only that unit goes free French for sure, not the territories in. And if he was in the territory alone, then the territory would go free French. I understand where you're coming from, because that's what it says. However, we have the designer of both the Latin American at War and the colonial expansion working with us. He's been working with us since, I'm going to say 6 weeks before this game even started, doing clarifications and modifications, and that's not the way we're playing that. In this game, we're playing it where if the Moroccan Gormiers is in a territory, that whole territory goes free French, not just that unit. So I appreciate you speaking up about that, because that's what it says, but that's why we're working with him, is so that we can get these clarifications. His original intent, I believe, was to have it so that that territory went free French, to make it so that make that expansion relevant, right? Make it worth something. And so anyway, like he's watching every game or every turn that we play and everything, and you never know, he might change it to what you're talking about. But as of now, and the way that we're going to play this game, that territory will go free French. And so that's why he is piling all his units in with the Moroccan Gormiers, so that all of these units will become free French. We can't just tell him now, oh, wait a minute, it doesn't say that, after he spent the whole game doing that. That's just not going to happen. But anyway, thanks for pointing that out. But if there's anything on the Latin American at War or the colonial expansion that doesn't look right, bear in mind that we are playing it the correct way, the way that we are intended to play it. And some of it doesn't jive, like the war that we've got going on between Brazil and Argentina. We basically made that whole thing up because it was very short on details. Again, there's another war that's going to happen in 1941. Again, we're making that up as we go along. And when we're done this game, then you'll get a new rule set for those 2 expansions. So let's just go up there and take the turn. Nothing changed on the counter. Oh, I guess maybe it has since my turn, because Japan bumped a bunch of people up. I'll just show you. I'm not going to go through them all. There's lots of videos of people telling you where we are. But mostly the allies have all gone up because Japan invaded China. And myself, Germany, I'm at 24. Japan has moved up to 21. Good for you, Rank Carcass. You show them. So let's just set this down in front of the turn caddy. All right, there we go. Okay, what are we doing here? Okay, now we've got that recruitment role that I just talked about. We also have a spy in South America. We've got our 5 roles for technology. We've got improved construction. This is a new one, advanced artillery. Long-range aircraft, which I've rolled and haven't gotten anything. Jet aircraft and radar. And these ones over here, I've already got to stage 2 on these ones and I can't roll them any further for now. So purchases, I'm saving 4 IPP. I get the free blue division for winning the war in Spain for the fascists. We're putting a submarine down, 2 artillery, and 2 medium armor. And Germany is the only nation in the game that's allowed to build medium armor until July of 1940. So let's get to those rolls, shall we? Let's do this, the technology roll, since the dice are already in there. The dice are color coded with the dice up here. Okay, this is a 2, even though it's slightly cocked. So an 11, a 9, and a 9. I believe those are going to be hits. Hey, look at that. I finally got long-range aircraft and artillery and construction. Okay, so improved construction goes to stage 2 and long-range aircraft on stage 1 and advanced artillery on stage 1 as well. So let's just take a look at, actually let's finish our rolls before we move the camera. Okay, let's get rid of these. Okay, let's go for the spy. I haven't been able to hit the spy yet. What I need is a roll of 3, and then the Americans will lose 2 IPP if I get that. You know what? Let's get the crap out of there. There we go. That's what the problem was. 6. Man, that spy is not very good. We're going to have to get a new spy. He's just down there. I think he's just taking our money and sitting on beaches. Okay, the Argentinian roll is at 2 because I only have 2 territories. Oh! And another 6. So that is just not going to cut it. All right, you've seen everything over here. Let's flip around now. We have got some moves to do. You know what? Let's just go like this. Let's get closer. There we go. Get nice and close here. Okay. So I don't have any combat movement or combat. So non-combat movement. You take a look over here. So this is Berlin and this is Bavaria, okay? I'm going to kind of do all this out of turn because it'll just be a lot faster, okay? So these guys are all moving over to Bavaria from Berlin. And yeah, the blue division's already in there. So that means I'll just take this guy off and put a chip on. There we go. And while I'm at it, I will just put those 2 artillery down as well. They're going in Bavaria. And the 2 tanks are going in Bavaria as well. There we go. And the blue division is going in Berlin. So this sub up here is going to move to C zone 48. That's the C zone off Portugal. And I'm placing the new one here. Now I've got a bunch of other moves to do. Like I said, I'm doing things a little bit out of turn. That's just so I don't have to move around the camera a lot. None of it's going to make any difference, you know, as far as combat or anything, right? So, move those. Okay, light armor from Berlin. Where is he? Light armor is going from Berlin down to Slovakia. And 2 infantry from East Prussia are going to go on the transport over to Eastern Germany. And the fighter from Slovakia to Western Germany. Okay. And 2 infantry from Bohemia here to Slovakia. So I am going to take this guy off and put a chip on. There we go. And you know, it's just a lot easier if I Take the infantry off with my big fat fingers here. There we go. 2 infantry from Bohemia to Slovakia. And I moved the sub already. Just looking to make sure I didn't miss one here, okay? Because I've got them all written down. So, let me just move this up a bit. So that sub that I showed you is moved right down here. Now there's 2 subs over there, 2 German subs. And I've got 4 IPP saved. And I'm going to collect 24. So that should leave me with 28 IPP. And there we go. 25, 26, 27, 28. Germany has 28 IPP in the bank. And that is all. So let's let you take a look over here again to what I have. Okay, in Berlin, there's an infantry, anti-aircraft artillery, 2 tactical bombers and a fighter. In Bavaria, there is 2 medium armor. I believe that's 5 infantry, 8 artillery, an airborne, mountain infantry, and a transport plane. And down in here, where I just moved some guys, there is 4 infantry in East Germany. And over in Slovakia, I have 4 infantry, a cavalry, and 2 light armor. That is the one that's changed over there. And of course, there's that extra fighter over in Western Germany. And you can see the other units that are there. I think that's about all. So I'll give you, here, let's just move this up a bit. Let's give you a look at the technology chart now, updated. Germany, you can see, got advanced armor there, and they're finally on the board with long-range aircraft. And down at the bottom, improved construction, they're on level 2. There's a wartime economy. The British are on stage 2, but you can see like there's not enough room there, so I've got a German roundel on top of that. So that's how things are looking on the technology chart. And next will be War Heroes up. He will be playing the Soviet Union. There's some discussion going on about what we should do with Xinjiang, because we're not very happy with the rules regarding that. We would have been if we would have known how to interpret the rules properly before the game began, but we did not. That was our fault. We didn't ask until the game had started, and then it was too late. So we're trying to clarify that, and hopefully it'll be clarified before War Heroes take their turn. So this is the territory I'm talking about here. We will see how that turns out. So take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.